Hello, how y'all doing tonight? Welcome here to Can Angels Fly, Tarot Live. Y'all know I'm Nancy. This evening we are going to be talking about the ascent to divine love. I did it earlier, but I did so much ranting in the live stream that I would just want to make a fresh live stream, clear cut. I'm hanging in here. How about yourself? I'm just kind of freshening up my notes, waiting for the live stream health to strengthen and make sure everything is flowing well as to see if anyone comes and joins us in the room. And that's about what I'm waiting on. You do know if you're ever interested in ordering your own personal reading, just contact me at my email. My email is angelsfly1@gmail.com. Okay. Kind of strange last few weeks of being kind of really calm in my cameras in the way. 2 days have been chaotic. Yeah. Uh, for me, it's been trying to be, and I let YouTube really upset me earlier, but I done released it. There's business to be handled, and so I plan to stay cool and ride the wave. No need to get upset. We'll be starting in a few minutes. It's actually 4 minutes and 30 seconds that I've been on here. We're going to start maybe around 6 minutes. I'm just going to kind of write some notes again, waiting for anyone to come into the room, guest. I invite you to take this time to get you something nice and cool or warm to drink. You know, in a what do you call it, a snuggie or a blanket or something like that, so you can lay back and relax as we have this discussion. Okay. All right. Yes, it's at 6 minutes. So here we go. Let's see. I believe that this particular live stream, try to stay in a frame. This particular live stream will be broke up into like four clear parts. The first part has to do with the current astrological energy that is governing our lives. The next, we'll talk about an alternative to the ascension to divine love. The third will be a detailed description of the alternative to divine love, which is virtuous love. And finally, we're going to go over a checklist of the traits. Let me write that down because I'll forget terms. traits directly associated with love. Part 1. The current astrological energy announces that humanity needs an overhaul. And the overhaul is for the purpose of assisting us, humanity, in rising to divine love. The reason why this ascension process is necessary is because humanity has fallen out of love, has fallen away from divine love. And there are some reasons the stars suggest that humanity has fallen away or out of divine love. And some of the reasons are due to being miseducated and improperly influenced in this life, such as being up under false teachings or erred teachings. It also has to do with honoring those type of false teachers and other idols, like we idolize movie stars and things like that. The next reason is the inability of humanity, or the individuals that create humanity, to forge healthy partnerships. And finally is the inappropriate happenings or experiences that we have had while in this physical realm. What was I just saying? I was saying that the astrological energies that we are currently dealing with announces that humanity has fallen away from divine love. And there are some reasons that humanity has fallen away from divine love. And those reasons are, as I have listed, but I'll repeat. It is due to false teachings. It is due to honoring false teachers and idols and things like that. And I know it sounds religious. Just ride the wave with me, if you will. The other reasons that humanity has fallen from divine love is the inability to forge healthy partnerships and to work and to collaborate together while in this physical realm. And the last thing I have listed here are the inappropriate happenings that have taken place during the courses of our lifetime. Now, these reasons are not just isolated to this time period. This has been since the beginning of mankind and has continued. But divinity, again, has announced enough is enough. And it is time for humanity to begin their ascension into divine love. Now, what I would like to say or share is that when I was doing my astrological interpretation, breaking it down, doing the research, I began to see this image of the like that traditional image of a archangel standing at a gate with the blazing sword spinning. This archangel that stands with the blazing sword spinning stands at the gate of entering into divine love. And the reason that archangel is there is to keep those that are unworthy or do not meet the task or the requirements from entering. I really found that so interesting because that was something that I heard in the church relative to Adam and Eve once they were expelled from the Garden of Eden. It was this angel that did what? Stand at the archway or the threshold between the new world in their old world, which was the Garden of Eden, and would not let them pass. So I was astonished when I got that image when I was doing an interpretation. But that's a whole nother video. And I want to come back and talk about how many times when I interpret the stars, I begin to get these more biblical based stories or storylines in my research. But I digress from that, and I continue on to talk about the current astrological energy. So, what else has taken place that has helped humanity fall away from divine love? It is not only the false teachings, the inability to forge healthy partnerships, the inappropriate happenings in this world, or honoring false teachers and idols. Something else happened. Because we were improperly influenced by such sources, it had a direct effect upon us. And the effects upon humans have been that we have ended up dealing with compounded disappointments, failures, meeting with our worst fears, terrors, and horrors. Moreover, humans have become desensitized due to what? Basically, and in short, bad advice as well as bad experiences. We have become desensitized, cruel, indifferent, and confused. It goes even deeper. What goes even deeper? The astrological message, astrological message for this time period goes even deeper. And it begins to talk about how our minds are corrupt. Now, when I say mind, don't get me confused, or don't get the mind, rather, confused with the physical brain. The physical brain is a part of our machine, our spacesuit, our avatar. It is a tool. I am talking about the mind, the intangible energy that allows us to process all of the information we take in while in this physical world. And not only do we have a mind, there's also a spirit mind, or a God mind. And that God mind is connected to us, and it feeds us, and it animates us, and it inspires us. But at this time, that God mind, the spiritual mind, is having difficulty identifying us, people, humans. There is a break or static connection between the spirit mind and, I'll say, the physical mind. And why is that? Because our minds have become so corrupt due to all of the experiences we are having and how they have impacted us. Once again, we have been miseducated as well as improperly influenced. In the astrological message, it went on to say that we have again begun our ascent to divine love, and that the process will not be easy, not at all. The process will be intricate, challenging, and unyielding, to say the least. Nevertheless, we have begun the ascent to divine love. When I read that in the astrological message, I wanted to really understand what divine love is. And so I took the term divine and looked up synonyms for the word divine to get a more clear understanding about what divine love would look like. And so at this time, I'm going to read some of the synonyms that are related to the term divine, and also kind of define what it would be like when it manifests into the love energy. So, another word for divine is angelic. So, that would be angelic love. What would angelic love be like? The definition is like or befitting an angel, especially in virtue and beauty. The next term, celestial. Celestial love. What might that be like? Well, celestial is pertaining to the spiritual. The word spiritual root is spirit. Spirit, in reality, as far as we know here in this physical realm, has no body. So celestial love immediately leads me to believe that divine love itself will be achieved at a point in time when we are no longer in this physical body. But I'll read on, still dealing with the synonyms directly related to the word divine. The next word is eternal. Eternal love. And what is that? It is existing outside all relations of time, not subject to change. The next is heavenly. Heavenly love. What might that be like? Well, resembling or befitting heavenly bliss. Next term, sacred. Sacred love, or maybe twin flame love. Next term, spiritual. We've already talked about that. The root spirit, meaning without physical form. What am I talking about right now? I'm talking about the concept of divine love. What is it? I continue. The next synonym to divine is exalted. Exalted love. It's the highest expression of love. Next is unearthly. Unearthly love, meaning it will be love that is outside of physicality. Next is supreme or supreme love. What is that? Last or final or the ultimate love. And last but not least, my favorite is transcendental. Transcendental love. And that is being beyond ordinary or common experience, thought, or belief. It is supernatural love. That was transcendental. So as I, read each of the synonyms to the word divine, I came to realize that the divine love, or the highest expression of love, will be accomplished when we are no longer in this physical vessel, nor in this physical realm. So that suggests to me that this will be a process, a journey, and it may take a very, very long time. So my question then was, what's before divine love? What is the part of the process that we are closer to achieving? What exist that will, in relationship to love, that will allow us to be in this physical body and in this physical world? And the answer that I received was virtuous love. Virtuous love. This is a journey of your soul. The ultimate goal is to move forth through our lives to ultimately get to divine love. But remember, there's this enormous archangel with a flaming sword that is blocking the way. We must earn our passage. A part of our journey consists of us obtaining virtuous love while in this physical realm and while in these physical bodies. At this time, I like to read a scripture from the Bible. I am not doing so to convert anyone. It is just a reference that I have that deals directly with what love is. And this reference is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 4 through 8. And I'll read. It says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not boast. Wait a minute. Let me start that again. Love is patient. Love is kind. It, love, does not envy. It, love, does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil or in wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Now that is a statement, a very poetic statement about virtuous love. At this time, I'm going to a website. It is called www.thoughtco.com. And I'm going to the site because it goes into detail and really talks about each of these traits associated with real love. Why am I talking about this? It is because this is a part of the process that we have to go through. We have to achieve this more virtuous type of love here while in the physical realm in order to increase or enhance our vibration to, I'm at a loss of words, but to heal our vibration. And so we need to understand what we are in pursuit of while in this physical realm. So, love is patient is what the scripture said. And this site goes into detail and really explains what that means. It says, as you can see, love is patient. And it goes on and says, this kind of patient love bears with offenses and is slow to repay or punish those who offend. However, it does not imply indifference, which would ignore an offense. Are you patient? Is the person that is significant in your life patient? I just asked. Hey, Jordan, Champagne, Nancy, I see you all. Next, love is kind. Kindness is similar to patience, but refers to how we treat others. It especially implies a love that reacts with goodness towards those who have been ill-treated. This kind of love may take the form of a gentle rebuke when careful discipline is needed. I ask you, are you kind? Is that one who is significant in your life kind? I read on. Still exploring virtuous love, because this is what we must achieve while in this physical realm in order to raise our vibration so that we can successfully rise to divine love. Love does not envy. This kind of love appreciates and rejoices when others are blessed with good things and does not allow jealousy and resentment to take root. This love is not displeased with when others experience success. I read on, talking about the traits of a virtuous, earthly, physical kind of love. Love does not boast. The word boast here means bragging without foundation. This kind of love does not exalt itself over others. It recognizes that our achievements are not based on our own abilities or worthiness. I read on. Love is not proud. This love is not overly self-confident or insubordinate to God or others. It is not characterized by a sense of self-importance or likes. It respects the concerns of others even when they are different from our own. It would never act dishonorably or disgrace another person. The next trait associated with a virtuous earthly type of love is love is not self-seeking. This kind of love puts the good of others before our own good. It places God first in our lives, above our own ambitions. This love does not insist on getting its own way. I really like this particular statement. Why? Because when I was interpreting the astrological energies that we are currently facing, this part of this statement was what was presented in the message from divinity. And the message was that we will follow divine's commands and we will not put our own ambitions before him or she or it. I read on. Love is not easily angered. Like the characteristics of patience, this kind of love does not rush toward anger when others do us wrong. This love does not hold a selfish concern for one's own rights. Next, love keeps no record of wrong. This kind of love offers forgiveness, even when offenses are repeated many times. It is a love that doesn't keep track of every wrong thing that people do and hold it against them. I have to be honest. I have to grow on that one. The next is love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. This kind of love seeks to avoid involvement in evil and helps others steer clear of evil. 2. It rejoices when loved ones live according to truth. Love always protects. This kind of love will always expose the sin of others in a safe way that won't bring harm, shame, or damage, but will restore and protect. The next trait associated with a virtuous love, an earthly love, something that we are to achieve while in this physical realm. Love always trusts. This love gives others the benefit of the doubt, sees the best in others, and trust in their good intentions. I know I have a problem with some of these too, but I'm human. I'm going to work through it. We will be working through it. It has been commanded by divinity. Next, love always hopes. This kind of love hopes for the best where others are concerned, knowing God is faithful to complete the work he started in us. This hope-filled love encourages others to press forward in the faith. Next, love always perseveres. This kind of love endures even through the most difficult trials. Last but not least, love never fails. This kind of love goes beyond the boundaries of ordinary love. It is eternal, divine, and will never cease. What was I doing? I was just reading the traits associated with a virtuous type of love, a more earthly type of love, so that we could see clearly what we will end up achieving in this world, one way or another, because it is a part of the journey of our being. It is a part of the process to us, or to our ascension into divine love. When I was reading the astrological energies yesterday, it was saying that we, when I say we, I'm talking about me, you, and every individual in humanity, have fallen out of love. The divine mind or the spirit mind doesn't even identify with our physical minds even anymore. And why is that? Because we have become so corrupted in or through our human experience. We have been miseducated. We have followed the wrong people. We have worshiped the wrong people. We have backed the wrong people. What else it says? It says that we have not been able to successfully forge healthy partnerships. And there have been many, many inappropriate happenings that have taken place in the history of humanity. As a direct result, people of the world have been heartbroken. They have been heartbroken, had many compound disappointments, failures, experienced horrors and terrors, and as a direct result of that, have become desensitized, cruel, indifferent, and confused. Our minds have become corrupt. So divine, based on the astrological alignment, has made a decree. And that decree says that we have began the initiation process in order to move into divine love. But divine love is the ultimate outcome, and it will be the ultimate expression of love. And that divine love is the ultimate goal for the state of our souls. That is to say, we will not be in this physical body, nor in this physical plane when that occurs. So, we're interested in what's going to happen while we're still in this physical body and in this physical world. And part of the process, although the process will be challenging, very intricate, unyielding, we will ride an emotional roller coaster. But ultimately, we will begin to execute these virtues or traits associated with an earthly love. So as you see right here to the left of me is the chalkboard. And here is a list of the virtues or the traits associated with true love. True love. And so right now, I just want to go through this list. I've tweaked it a little bit from the scripture as well as the website. But I tweaked them so that we can look at one word and ask ourselves, are we, like for instance, number one, patient? Is the person that I love and care for, that person that's significant in my life, are they patient? Based on your answer, you are discerning if this person is working from love. So, number two, my question to you is, are you kind? Or is the person that is significant in your life, are they kind to you? The next, number three, is caring. 4, humble. 5, meek. 6, respectful. 7, giving. 8, cheerful. 9, forgiving. 10, humane. 11, supportive. 12, trustworthy and discerningly trusting. 13, optimistic. 14, enduring. 15, assuring. Are you, or how many of these traits or attributes can you check off for yourself? Heck, how many can you check off for the person that you love? Your answer gives you a glimpse, allows you to discern just how loving you are, or just how loving your significant other is. Regardless of your answer to you or that someone's significant in your life, the decree has been made. It has been announced from divinity in the stars. And we, me, you, and every individual in humanity are in the process of moving forth to experience a virtuous love and ultimately a divine love. Thank you for coming here to Can Angels Fly and talking about divine love with me. Now, at this time, I'm going to read the chat, make some comments, and then I want to go over here to this chalkboard because you know I got something to say about it. So I can only see a part of my chat due to where my camera is set. So, some of the comments I can't see. Champagne, see how you doing? Yes, I love these talks and information you do. Thank you. Nancy done bought out the Bible. Just and that's the thing, Champagne, that's really tripping me out. And I really got to go think about this because when I'm interpreting the stars, I try to compress it and summarize it as effectively as I can to, give the information, pass it forward to you ladies and gentlemen. And in doing so, many times I can think of a scripture that defines the message in the stars. And I say, oh, that's too much of a coincidence. Don't think I'm not dealing with that kind of stuff. I'm like, how was that? Like yesterday when I was sharing, when I was reading the stars, I said, well, hell, the way this is set up, it sounds like it's an archangel with a flaming sword standing between us and what's the divine love? Divine love. Because divine love, astrologically, is Venus in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces with Neptune. And so that's a divine love. And whatever else was there, it just gave me this image of the angel standing there swinging his sword like you can't pass. You can't get in here. We have to go through this whole process. And so when I was reading the stars, it shows that humanity has become devoid of love because of all of the corruptness that exists here. All the corruptness that we experience in this physical realm. And so Yes, the Bible, yes, it is going back. And so my question is, I've been walking around asking myself this, Champagne. I believe that astrology is a coding system. And so either the messages directly from divinity that come up in the stars, all the messages, or a coding system was created over thousands of years, like a coding system. Like if you star equal D, put the letter D here, coding. And something is going on. And so what I do is I'm compelled to keep researching the stars because I need to see the stuff come true. Some of the stuff I get when I interpret the stars um, is physical based, meaning I can watch it come true. Like I saw the volcanoes come true. What else I've seen? I'm gonna have to write a list of the things that I foresaw happening. Um, and so I have, interpret the stars and got a forecast and seeing things coming to be. But other things are on a more divine level, on a intangible level or frequency level that only in time will it be evident. It will take time for it to be evident like this here. You know, um, even though we are on in this process, it's going to take a while to get to even virtuous love. So I'm not even talking about the divine love. It's going to take a minute to get to virtuous love. I don't know how he's going to do that, but I do know that the astrological energies were saying that we are going to heal. We're going to move forward. We're going to have our personal life experiences. And those life experiences or those exchanges that we have with others will be the catalyst to our change. In prior astrological interpretations or research I've done, it shows that there are going to be a lot of trials and tribulations. There are going to be power struggles in relationships. So this process is not easy, not at all. But ultimately, seems like it's being foretold that it will be accomplished one way or another. And so that's a hopeful energy. But again, the frequency of change is so slow that you don't even know what's happening. And so that's something that I'm personally dealing with and keeping a sharp eye on. So these go ads. They got ads. They on my channel. I can't even see that. Wow. Well, I didn't want to make this live stream long. I was thinking about coming back and reading a few tarot cards. It's still early this evening. Yeah, it's still early, so I might come back and read some tarot cards this evening. But anyway, thank you for dropping by here at Can Angels Fly Tarot. I'll see you next time. Bye.